All right, thanks guys. We're here today with Zachen from Behind the Scene. Always good to be chatting with some bands, and we've got Jacob and Zach from Above Below. Of course, recently working towards the release of the Lotus Chapters. How you guys doing today, first and foremost?
Yeah, good man, doing good. Just having some fun, making some music.
Yeah. You mentioned before that like you're at the studio today. Like, is that in terms of writing, or are you guys kind of just going over a couple of things musically?
Well, we're kind of just experimenting with new ideas, yeah, because I've got my studio just at my house where everything kind of gets done. So we're just playing with new ideas, new procedures, different kind of ways of writing riffs.
Yeah.
We're sort of getting together most Tuesday mornings, doing weird stuff and playing around, mucking around with shit.
Have a little bit of a jam day with yourselves.
Exactly, yeah.
That's awesome. There's not too many bands that I personally know that actually go about doing that. So I imagine that'd come really well. And from what I know also, Jacob being the vocalist, you write the music, and on the flip side, Zach being the guitarist, you write the lyrics. Is that correct?
Yeah. Correct. That's how it all goes. Yeah, a bit of a weird dynamic, but I don't know, it sort of works as well, like having like the opposite, I guess, instrumentalists do the other side of writing adds a weird dynamic in which we sort of critique each other in different ways. Like, so I'll write a bunch of lyrics with a particular melody or something, and Jacob will add his own flavour of melody to that, and vice versa with a riff, instead of it being sort of contained to a singular person. I don't know, that's a cool little flavour to it all.
Yeah, like when Jacob told me, I thought, wow, how in the heck would that work? But I guess having extra perspective on the individual parts of a song can kind of only really add to the quality overall for it. So like, does it make things easier for you guys, or does that kind of make it a bit more of a complicated process, I guess?
Well, I guess we can go into the process more specifically.
Yeah.
So Zach will come up with kind of an overarching concept with different songs in mind, and I'll go from that concept, and I'll use my software, which is called Guitar Pro, and I'll notate all of that's how I compose everything. I'll write out all of our ideas, kind of all the riffs, all the drums, all the guitars, everything out, and then Zach will hear the song and then kind of write lyrics together whilst I'm writing the songs as well. That's pretty much how they go. Yeah, if he doesn't like a bit, or like if he thinks something else should go there, not just Zach, but the rest of the band members as well.
Yeah.
If I think that something could change or this and that, then I'll just go back into my software and notate it all out. So that way we kind of get like a definitive kind of product that we can work with.
Absolutely. And obviously there's a little bit that goes into the songwriting from what you've just told us about. Like, does that kind of way of a process for creating songs, was that easy to break down, I guess, the parts of the Lotus chapter, the phases of birth and life and death? Like, does your songwriting process make it easier to approach those phases in the album for yourselves?
I personally find that it does, but that's just because my background is quite like technical and theoretical, so I kind of know what musical techniques I have to apply to make a song sonically represent the lyrical vibe, the lyrical meaning.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't know, it all sort of like, the Lotus Chapters, there was a lot of it where we just sort of kept writing stuff and it kept going and it kept going somewhere, and then there was a bit of a light bulb moment where I sort of came up with that whole Lotus, like, extended metaphor and that whole concept of birth, life and death and growth and everything. And after that sort of light bulb click moment, I don't know, writing everything was so easy. Pretty smooth. Like, it was one of the smoothest experiences I think both Jacob and I probably had. Like, there was no stress. Well, there was stress, obviously, don't get me wrong. Just interacting with the stress. Tracking was stressful. But in terms of composing and actually writing the record and all the bits, I don't know, it was fun, it was smooth, it was easy, we were relaxed with it, and I think it really shows that in the record itself as well. It definitely shows that we sort of loved doing what we did on it, and I'm super stoked with it.
Yeah, totally. And that's like, I guess, I'm really happy to hear that kind of you guys were achieving that, because that's all part of the magic of creating music and being in a band and everything together. So that's awesome that it translates through the songs that you guys wrote as well. That's super cool. It's quite a big thing, having it all being about birth and life and death, broken down concepts in the album. Like, is there a particular message or theme or concept you guys are trying to get across with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the whole thing is, like, when basically when you look at it, the idea is that the seed technically represents that sort of blissful, ignorant side of child life, and then being innocent and being sort of sheltered from the world around you. So like you're trapped in a seed. And then as you move into the next chapter, it's got that flourishing side, and it's sort of when you're in like that, I guess, teenage to sort of midlife era where like, rebellion. Yeah, like a lot of stuff is like, yeah, exactly. You just see sort of more the negative sides of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that comes through a lot more, and it's sort of hard to keep track of everything that's good in the world. And then that's where the heavy songs are as well. That's where all the heavy songs are, exactly, yeah. And then, and then you move into the third chapter, and like one of the songs is Equilibrium, and like that's the whole concept of the third chapter is that, at the end of the day, there is both light and dark in the world, and there's both good and bad, and finding that sort of harmony, that peace, that yin-yang sort of perspective between both of it is what really life is about, and you can become sort of content, and there's a sort of catharsis you can find yourself within there.
Good word.
And that's the point of the album at the end of the day. It's about finding that catharsis, accepting both the love and the dark in the world, and then, being chill with it.
Yeah, that's like, for lack of a better term, being chill about everything that is going around. It's you guys go that
living in the now and just being acceptive of that, and that's all throughout all your Eastern philosophy, and it's been concepts that like people have talked about for years and years and years and years, and it's really true. When you get to that point and you can sort of be content and less stressed and find yourself at a sort of nice mid-level, there's the world's a beautiful place at the end of the day after that. And I think that's what the album is.
Life's a lot more enjoyable once you kind of come to terms with that.
100%.
Yeah, I really, really agree with you guys on that. I love hearing it. And then I guess, as you say, with that kind of being littered all through philosophy and whatever it may be, like, are there any particular points of philosophy or maybe other bands or just things like that you guys have drawn inspiration from, or personal experience even?
Yeah, 100%. In terms of your philosophy, I mean, I used a whole bunch of stuff. There are so many philosophers I read up on and looked at while I was doing it. A lot of Eastern philosophy I drew a lot of ideas from. Alan Watts dives a lot into that. He talks a lot of Eastern philosophy and definitely westernized it a lot more.
Yeah.
I drew from a lot of existentialists as well. Things like Kierkegaard and even Nietzsche a tiny bit. All of the nihilistic outlooks they look on there are sort of misinterpreted a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
When they look at life as a bleak, meaningless sort of thing, it's not in the fact that life is not meaningless. It just means that we will die eventually, so make the most of life.
Yeah.
And I think that was a massive driving concept behind it all, and I found it interesting that I found that within a realm of philosophy that is inherently a bit darker than the norm. And it was cool to sort of find that. So that was definitely a point I drew it from. And, in terms of bands, like, probably the Contortionists.
Yeah, the Contortionists is a big influence. Reflections is probably one of the biggest influences.
Okay.
We could talk about bands. I think another band to mainly list is just Bill Jotter.
Fucking Bill Jotter.
But, yeah, other than that, all the compositionally, like, everything Zach said, I agree with wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And I did my best to explore the exact same ideas, because our tuning is so low, but the music itself isn't, like, jarring and, like, dark and dissonant the whole time.
Yeah.
So there's a unique kind of flavour that I thought worked with the concepts.
Yeah. It's definitely super the Contortionists. I mean, very much. We fucking worship that band, specifically me. Like, it's the biggest meme to me. So I love that band.
Yeah, well, I guess it would have been great to take influence from them. So I guess, like, with all of that in mind, like, I know you guys were saying before, once you had that light bulb moment, the writing process, it just became so much easier and a lot simpler and smoother for you guys. But still, overall, has it been daunting kind of writing the Lotus Chapters as an album as a whole? Like, it's still a little bit of a scary journey for you throughout it?
Well, I came into the process not even wanting to write an album. It was going to be an EP, and then it ended up being, it's 2 EPs. Oh, actually, no, 3 EPs. Why don't we just consolidate all this work into an album? And so, not really. The process itself, it can seem daunting from an outside perspective. But no, the process, it didn't take that. Maybe over a year, it all got completed. So it wasn't rushed. The writing was not daunting. The writing was easy.
Yeah, good.
But the writing went well, and it happened well, and it sort of happened really nice, and we all worked very well collaboratively together, and we all had our own ideas, and everyone put in and no ideas were shunned. So from that thing, like all of us as an entire band worked fantastically together in writing the album. The daunting bit was everyone telling us not to do an album.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
no, anyway. Yeah. And we're like, nah, we're just gonna do it anyway.
Stick to your guns and kind of go with what you guys felt right from the sounds of it.
Yeah, we felt that the body of work was strong enough to be released together.
You know, it's deserving of an album. It wouldn't have been the same experience, and that whole conceptual theme and everything tying in together, you know, it wouldn't have been the same impact if we released it as 3 EPs or spread it out. And each chapter is so different that everyone would have expected a different above below each time. And I don't know, I think it's just releasing it as an album is the best thing we could do. And, you know, if it doesn't do well, we'll just write another album.
Yeah, damn, that's a really good perspective to have on it all, I guess. Cool hearing about, you know, how much work you guys have put into it, and even though there might have been some doubt in and amongst, like, you guys stuck to it, which is really, really awesome. And there has been a whole lot going to Lotus Chapters. Like, you guys have been putting out some pretty damn cool videos visually. Some of the artwork and, like, you know, Photoshop edits you guys have used as profile pictures are all like really, really cool. Are there any like behind the scenes people you guys would maybe want to give a shout out to, like photographers, any graphic
100%.
designers, or any like Greek tour managers maybe of that kind of?
Shout out to fucking Yanni Tatsidis. Yanni. Yeah,
Big shout out to Yanni. Big shout out.
Little Greek man. We fucking love Yanni.
My face lord.
He would not be anything without us. Yeah. We couldn't praise him higher.
100%. I owe that man everything.
Yeah.
He's a god among men.
Connor Rankin is the genius behind all of our videography work.
Cool,
He's
cool.
a visual lens
wizard.
Yeah, he's our lens wizard.
He's a good friend of our old bassist Louis and myself. I miss you, Louis, as well. No problem to Dylan. We're still really, really great friends with Louis, so we just bully him all the time. But,
Yeah.
Connor, and he's done all our music videos, and they're the only 3 music videos he's ever done.
Yeah,
That's a bloody good job.
Crazy. That still blows my mind to this day. The guy is just a freaking god. But he does a lot of more cinematography stuff. He does lots of Matt Corby's videography too. Matt Corby and stuff.
Yeah.
So, other person I'd like to give a shout out to is Josh from Circle Circle. Yeah, he's like an Instagram artist who did our artwork and all those edits.
Cool.
He was very, very cool. And
Nick Page would shout out, definitely.
He's our engineer for Lotus
So
Chapters.
I actually recorded all of the guitars here in my studio.
Yeah.
And then Nick Page did all the drum tracking with him, all the vocal tracking with him. He dealt with all of my production stems, of which there were probably hundreds. And then, he did all of our mixes and the mastering, and it wouldn't be an out without him.
Yeah, he was instrumental in
and always supported the choice to make an album. Everyone else was like, only do some little EPs. He was the one who was always like, nah, just do it. Like, encourage us along.
It's good that, like, I know, as we said before, you guys stuck to your guns, but that there was another, I guess, third party that kind of said, oh, man, stuff them, do what you want. This is good enough. Like, it's ready to go. So I'm really excited to hear Lotus Chapters once it's out in full, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other people that are going to be real keen too.
We can't wait.
Yeah, man, I'm sure out of everybody, you guys might be the most excited to finally get it put out, right?
It's been a long time coming.
Awesome. Like, that pretty much covers everything I wanted to go over. Is there anything additional you guys might want to chuck on, or anything that us as fans could keep a lookout for you guys?
I don't know.
Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram.
At the moment, which is something I'm not scared to throw that out there.
Yeah, we're working on a new EP.
So, well, I was thinking that before.
Even if you hate the album, there's something new coming.
Because I was thinking you guys are having that Tuesday jam. Lotus is good to go, so you might be writing new material, so that's awesome. But yeah, we'll keep an eye out for Lotus Chapters coming out real soon, a new EP on the way, as you guys have mentioned there. But super duper appreciate your time, and I hope you guys have an awesome rest of a jam for the day.
Awesome. Thanks so much,
man.
Thanks, boys. Thanks again. Have a good one.
See you, dude. Good to talk to you, man.
You too.